Hey guys, my name is Eugene Smith, and I'm doing a film analysis on two scenes from The Dark Knight. The first one is Kill the Bat, so let's go ahead and watch that one.
Let's wind the clocks back a year. These cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened? Did your balls drop off? Hmm? You see, a guy like me,
Freak.
a guy like me. Look, listen. I know why you choose to have your little group therapy sessions in broad daylight. I know why you're afraid to go out at night. The Batman. See, Batman has shown Gotham your true colors, unfortunately. Dent, he's just the beginning. And as for the television's so-called plan, Batman has no jurisdiction. He'll find him and make him squeal. I know the squealers when I see them. And
What do you propose?
it's simple. We kill the Batman.
If it's so simple, why haven't you done it already?
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
How much you want?
Half. You're crazy. I'm not. No, I'm not. If we don't deal with this now, soon little Gamble here won't be able to get a nickel for his grandma.
Enough from the clown!
Let's not blow this out of proportion.
You think you can steal from us and just walk away?
Yeah.
I'm putting the word out. 500 grand for this clown dead. 1 million alive, so I can teach him some manners first.
All right, so listen, why don't you give me a call when you want to start taking things a little more seriously? Here's my card.
Okay, so in this scene, you see that the Joker is now meeting up with the gang members, and they're having a conversation about how to actually kill the bat, hence the scene. So let's first dive in and talk about the missing scene, the acting. You see in this scene, the Joker, he's playing a very serious role. The conversation is very dark and ominous because it's about killing Batman. And I believe that the gang members learn to take him so seriously or below things out of proportion, as you see, he says with his jacket. And also the acting, whereas the gang members, they are almost, you could say, cocky with their mannerisms. And because they are people with the big money in the city and they're trying to show that they still run the show. The lighting. You see in this scene that they're actually in a kitchen and all the lights are on. However, you would think it would be actually really bright, but in the scene, the lighting is still dim and dark. And I think that plays a role into how deep and serious the conversation was because all the lights were on, yet it was a dark and ominous film. And you see that in the costumes as well. The men, they're in their, I could say like their dirty suits because they're dressed up, yet it's for dirty business. And so the gang members are dressed up, whereas the Joker, he is actually in his typical purple Joker suit, and he has his grenades in his jacket. It's just his very scary self. And the next thing I want to talk about is cinematography. And in this scene, it's a conversation scene between two men, and a lot of the shots are very intense, especially the shots where you see the face of just the Joker, and so it almost pulls you in as if you're in the scene and you're listening to the Joker, and then you get the over shoulder shots of the Joker and the Gangman, which makes you almost pulls you out once you're being pulled in, and as if you're watching the conversation from afar. One thing I noticed about this scene was that the establishing shot is not actually in the beginning. It's actually close to the middle where you see the Joker says something and then all the men laugh and you get a cut to the whole entire room of the gang members laughing and you actually get to see where you actually are for the first time because it's always just a side shot. You see in the background where you are. But in this one, the establishing shot, you see where everything is. I think that was really cool how they did that. Also, the slow zooms between the gang member's face and Joker's face, it kind of intensifies the moment because it goes along with the sound, which is the next element we'll talk about, where it's a very quiet room and it's really quiet, so everything's really intensified. You can hear almost the hum of the refrigerators behind the people. And one thing I noticed was that the sound, it slowly was building in. It was a slow and dark sounding music. But as the conversation went on, the music picked up more and more and more, not speed wise, but just volume, and it made the moment really intense. The editing in this scene was really like a basic conversation scene. It was a lot of jumping back and forth from one face to another face, and just like a typical conversation. So it was pretty good. The next scene we're gonna watch is the hospital scene, so you guys go ahead and watch that.
Davis! Man, we're gonna have to move him now.
Ferguson. Commissioner. You okay, son?
Hi. You know, I don't want there to be any hard feelings between us, Harvey. When you and, Rachel were being abducted, I was sitting in Gordon's cage. Now, I didn't rig those charges.
You're a man. You're playing.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, I just do things. The mob has plans. The cops have plans. Gordon's got plans. You know, they're schemers. Schemers trying to control their little worlds. I'm not a schemer. I try to show the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are. So, when I say, come here, when I say that you and your girlfriend was nothing personal, you know that I'm telling the truth.
I'm gonna need your weapon.
What? Why do you think my wife's in the hospital?
Yeah, that'd be why.
It's the schemers that put you where you are. You were a schemer. You had plans. And look where that got you.
Police, of course, are taking every possible precaution in urging everyone not to take matters into their own hands.
I just did what I do first. I took your little plan and I turned it on itself. Look what I did to this city with a few drums of gas and a couple of bullets. You know what I noticed? Nobody panics when things go according to plan. Even if the plan is horrifying. If tomorrow I tell the press that like a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers will be blown up, nobody panics. Because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little old mare will die, well, then everyone loses their minds. Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's fear. You live. You die. Now we're talking.
So let's talk about the missing scene again. The acting. Joker in the scene. One thing I like about the Joker is that he's really dark, and the actor who plays him, he makes every element dark. And just the Joker's breathing you see in the scene is very deep. Really makes him seem raspy and scary. And you almost see that in Harvey's breath is really deep and angry, but Harvey is extremely angry at the Joker right now. He feels that everything that's happened is because of him, which is really true. One thing about the costumes in this scene was that you learn how sick the Joker really is. He is wearing a woman's hospital nurse outfit with an orangish wig. That shows to me that the Joker is ruthless and he does not have no shame in whatever he does, and he will do whatever he has to do to get the job done. And the costume for Harvey is basically what you can expect. It is like a hospital gown that you wear when you're in the hospital, and then you have this half face of him now because it's been blown off. One thing also that I noticed about it was the lighting. It was natural lighting in there because you had the lighting from the window and the curtains being open, and so this shone in through it like a regular hospital room, and it kind of made it feel like it was normal. But yeah, it was something so serious going on. The cinematography in this was very interesting. It was another conversation. However, it was many different shots. One of the shots I actually liked was the low angles of the Joker, where you're looking up at him as if you are Harvey and you are this weak, innocent person who's strapped to a bed in front of one of the most evil guys you could think of, the Joker, tying you up and talking about killing and anarchy, and that's very scary to me if I was in that position. And then you get the switchover shot where it's a high angle and you're looking down Harvey, and you almost feel like you're the Joker now. You feel strong and empowered, and that you have all the power now. And I like that. And one thing I did notice was that the shot where they break away from the two shots of looking up at the Joker or looking down at Harvey was when they pull you out the shot and you're looking at the two men talking to each other. And it's almost as if you were just sitting and watching. So I kind of like the cinematography in this scene, to the fact that I was put in these many different roles. One thing about the sound was that it's another really dark sound because the Joker, and I feel like everywhere he goes, it's a really dark sound and it's just scary. And it's really quiet in the hospital room. It's extremely quiet because obviously nobody's there because the hospital's been evacuated and it's just them two. And so every small little detail you can hear, like just from the clicking of the gun when it's being moved around the Joker's hand, or just the flipping of a coin, heads you live, tails you die. And also, you get to hear that really dark breathing once again. One thing about the editing is that it's a basic cut back and forth, and it's another conversation scene, so it's what you can expect. But it's good cuts, and I enjoy them. One thing I did want to talk about separate from this entire film is the Joker's story. It's kind of the motif in the play. It's constantly changing from person to person. Where in the beginning he's talking to the gang member, and he's talking about how he got scars and how his father actually gave him the scar and it's a smile, talking about why it's so serious. But yet, when you go to the woman at the party, he mentions to a man, "You look like my father." But then when he goes to give his story to the woman, how he got the scars, is actually about a girlfriend and boyfriend relationship. So I think one thing that changes, this almost constant thing that's changing in the scene, in the movie, is the Joker's story. And I think it's really interesting. It shows that he's just dark, twisted guy who can make up these weird thoughts. To me, I think that's really crazy how he can make this up, and also that he's a liar. If he could change the story about how he got the scars this many times, who knows what else he can. Well, we all know he lies about in the end, but he's just a really good liar, and that's a scary thing. And I wonder how he actually got the scars, and for real now, because I've heard different stories, and it's just really interesting. So guys, that's it.